My future sister-in-law is pissed that her little brother, my fiancé, is getting married before her and is being a total nuisance toward our plans, and she now demands to be part of my bridal party, against my wishes, and rallied my future mother-in-law on her side. Posted by you/OracleFX. Hi all. Wedding planning has been exhausting for me, and I'm close to giving up and eloping. I just can't handle all the pressure. My fiancé and I have been together for 2.5 years. My 24F issues with my future sister-in-law, 26F, started just after my fiancé and I got engaged last year. My future mother-in-law had remarried earlier the same year, and I also think she never expected her little brother to get married before her. She freaked out and pressured her boyfriend to propose, but he wouldn't. They split for a while, then got back together. For that period, we were not allowed to mention our engagement in front of her, or she would be very rude and passive-aggressive. There was also the issue of the ring. My fiancé's family has 2 heirloom rings, one for my fiancé and one for my future sister-in-law. When my fiancé asked his grandparents about it, they could not remember which one she had chosen and had to call her about it. She couldn't pick which one she wanted, so now both rings were off the table until she decides which one she wants. My fiancé said screw that and bought me a different ring, which I love, but the whole situation was hurtful. Now, my fiancé and I want a very small ceremony and a large reception afterward. We also want a small wedding party. I decided I only wanted 2 bridesmaids, my sister and my best friend. My fiancé will have 2 groomsmen, his best friend and my brother. My future sister-in-law is, of course, invited to the ceremony, but completely lost it when she realized she wouldn't be a bridesmaid. She called my fiancé screaming once, then went into denial and kept texting me about bridesmaid duties. My fiancé called to tell her to leave me alone, and she screamed and hung up. Now apparently she's been ranting at my future mother-in-law, who is in turn trying to talk my fiancé into it. My compromise was that she be on my fiancé's side, but I was told by my future mother-in-law and my future sister-in-law that that was unacceptable because it would make the sides uneven, and it was untraditional for a woman to be on the groom's side. My fiancé got pissed and said that was fine. He didn't want her on his side either, and she wouldn't be in the wedding party at all. That cued another freakout. I don't want to give in, because I know she will make a day about my fiancé and me all about her. She always does. But I'm tired of the wheedling calls from my future mother-in-law to invite her back in. There was already drama with my family. The guest list on my side is very small because we are having a pagan ceremony, and I know my family would disapprove. Doesn't what we want matter? I don't know how to handle all this. Thinking of my wedding makes me feel nauseous now. Top/relevant comments. Additional info from up. My fiancé has 4 siblings, and none are in the wedding party. All are invited to the ceremony. She is the only one upset like this. Commenter. Your biggest mistake was offering to let her stand on your fiancé's side, because now it is a question of letting her back in when she was never really in the wedding party to begin with. I do not want to give in, because I know she will make a day about my fiancé and me all about her. She always does. But I am tired of the wheedling calls from my future mother-in-law to invite her back in. It sounds to me like letting your future sister-in-law into your wedding party will not actually relieve any of your stress, but will instead just invite more. Once you cave and let her into the wedding party, your future sister-in-law and future mother-in-law will simply move on to something else and start wearing you down until they get their way again. It sounds like your fiancé is on your side, which is great. Stay firm and say the wedding party is already decided, and you no longer want to discuss it. End the conversation whenever they try to bring it up. Do not spend your wedding catering to a brat. Ops response. Yeah, I agree. We were told it was unfair for me to have 2 siblings in the wedding party and my fiancé to have none. I can kind of understand that, but at the same time, my fiancé chose my brother, not me. Commenter. If your fiancé felt it was unfair that his sibling wasn't included, that would be one thing. It's not unfair to anybody else, because nobody is entitled to a spot in your wedding party. If I were you, I'd have my fiancé have one final conversation with his sister to tell her that the only 2 bridesmaids will be your sister and your best friend. After that, refuse to engage at all. Commenter 2. Great advice. There are only 3 parties that get a say in your wedding: you, your fiancé, and whoever is helping finance the event. That last group needs very clear-cut boundaries right from the start, so everyone knows where they stand. Not sure if that's applicable here. Beyond that, you tell everyone else to STFU and enjoy their cake, or pie, or fruit lasagna you chose instead, because that's your choice to make for your wedding. Ops response. This is another issue. We are having our reception at my future mother-in-law's house. We are paying the majority of the costs for food and alcohol, but it is her house. I think she thinks she has some sort of control of the wedding party because of this. I would think she should only have input on the reception, not the ceremony itself. Commenter 3. My suspicion is that if she doesn't get to be a bridesmaid, or even if she does, she might try to steal the day by pressuring her boyfriend into another proposal on the day of your wedding. You may want to head that off by having a chat with said boyfriend. Update 6 months later. Hello again. I got a couple of requests to update after the wedding, but it has been hectic and I finally got the time. I got some great advice, and I really appreciate it. The wedding was not drama-free, but it was drama-reduced at least. First, I showed my fiancé, now husband, the post after I finished reading all the comments. He felt awful because he didn't realize how much his sister's behavior was hurting me. We scheduled a lunch in a public place with my sister-in-law and mother-in-law. My husband laid down the law, and it was awesome. He basically told her that she would not be in the wedding party, and that she had no one to blame but herself and her own actions. He raked her over the coals a bit. I can't believe my own family would make what is supposed to be the happiest time in my life frustrating and difficult, while I sat in Smug City, population 1. I then offered the truce that we had agreed upon prior, which was actually a suggestion from my last post. I asked her to be an usher and let her know it was important because we were having a pagan ceremony and people might be confused about how to stand in a circle, whatever makes her feel important and keeps her out of my hair. She had been crying for a lot of this talk, but stopped to ask if she could still wear a bridesmaid dress. I told her absolutely not. She then asked if she could at least get ready with me and the bridal party. That was another no. She started crying more, but my mother-in-law clearly understood that this was an olive branch and told her she would be crazy not to accept. She finally did, begrudgingly. Then she went home and posted all sorts of congratulatory things on her Facebook. My eyes about rolled out of their sockets. Fast forward to the wedding. The ceremony was beautiful and went off without a hitch. I had assigned a friend to keep an eye on my sister-in-law, but she was on her best behavior during the ceremony. It was really lovely, and I was just so happy. It still makes me happy to think about. And then the reception. The first hour and a half were going great. Everyone was getting suitably boozy and dancing and having a great time. At one point, there was a quiet lull between songs, and I heard a harpy screech. Goddess help me. My husband started to go wrangle her, but his stepfather stepped in and said he would handle it. He's such a great person. This next part I know only secondhand through the posse that went to deal with her. I just kept dancing it up and pretended I didn't hear it. It turns out that my sister-in-law was fighting with her boyfriend, again. Apparently, they had planned that he would propose to her at our wedding reception. If you read my last post, you might remember there was drama regarding 2 heirloom rings in my husband's family. The plan was that her boyfriend would propose with both rings, she would pick one, and then she would graciously gift me the other as a wedding present. They got into a fight about who knows what, and he decided he wasn't going to propose. Really, she gave me an amazing wedding gift, an excuse to have them both bounce from the reception. My stepfather called a cab and had them sent home. The reception went on harpy-free and was a blast. We've had pretty minimal contact with her after that. To her credit, she did apologize eventually, but also went on about how hurt she was to be removed from the reception. I let my husband deal with that one. We live in a different city, so the most I see of her is Facebook posts, and that is plenty for me now. The holidays are coming up, so we will be in contact again, but I'm not worried about how to deal with her. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. What the flying heck? She was going to have her boyfriend propose to her at your wedding reception and then give you the other ring? Well, la-da-da, how big of her. Congratulations on your wedding. I wish you a long and healthful marriage. I hope your interactions with her settle over time. Ops response. She apparently thought it was a way to bring our families closer. Commenter 2. Gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. I honestly don't have the words to describe how disgusted I am with your sister-in-law's histrionic, self-centered behavior. On the bright side, though, it sounds like you and your now husband, congratulations, make a good team and know how to deal with this entitled brat in future. The in-laws sound like they'll be pretty tired of her crap soon too. Enjoy your newly wedded life. Oh. Just curious, did your sister-in-law's boyfriend end up staying with her after that ridiculous proposal garbage? Ops response. They are very on again, off again. Not sure if they are still together. Commenter 3. Did you know he was going to propose, and were you going to be cool with it? Congrats on your wedding. Ops response. We did not know, and we would not have been okay with it if we had.